The following episode of Dad vs. Daughter was made possible by a contribution from Ravensburger.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Dad vs. Daughter. I'm Tim the Dad.
I'm Megan the daughter.
Today we are playing Villainous.
Yes, this is from Ravensburger.
Yeah, this is a game we've been actually really pumped for a long time because, well, it's Disney and we're playing as Disney villains.
Yeah.
So in this we have 6 villains, but we're only going to be playing 2 in our game.
Yeah.
And so who are the villains we have in this box?
You have Prince John, the Queen of Hearts.
So
Yeah.
Prince John sucks his thumb.
I was like, what? You have Maleficent. You have
Captain Hook.
Captain Hook. You have Jafar.
It is I, Jafar.
And one more.
Ursula.
Ursula. How did I forget her?
How can
That's
you
like my
forget
favorite
her?
princess.
Yeah, you're like the Little Mermaid.
Yeah, I don't know.
So this is a game that actually plays up to 6, so you can
Yes.
play a game with all 6 villains, and you're going to have heroes that you're going to be playing on other people's villains in order to try to slow them down or screw up what they want to do. So
That's the best part.
Yeah.
Screwing you over.
yeah, well, you like being the villain.
Yeah.
So this is a great game if you've always wanted to be the villain, especially a Disney villain. You get to be that in this. So
It's kind of cool.
So let's play through it and then tell everybody what we think.
Okay.
The game comes with 6 unique characters. We'll talk about the other ones in our review, but Megan has chosen to be dun dun dun
Captain
Hook. Give us the
the
hook. So Megan will be Captain Hook. So she has her own win conditions and own special abilities that she's going to have, and I am going to be. It is I, Jafar. And you'll notice that each of us get our own villain guide. Now, the cool thing about the villain guide, other than the fact that it's got really good
Descriptions.
artwork and everything, is it tells us exactly what our objective is. It tells us any special setup. In this case, my special setup, and Megan's too, is that we have to place a lock token on our rightmost location. So we'll talk about how that kind of differs from the other characters later on. It also kind of gives you little tips on how to play your character, which is nice. You'll see, get what you need under your control, activated abilities, and such. So we each have very different ones. We also have a reference card that is double-sided, and it tells us what our actions can be on our different locations, because we're going to be invoking these when we move our player token there. So you can see we can gain power, which means we basically just get a little token from the cauldron there, and that's going to be basically the currency.
The power tokens.
The power tokens, yeah. We can play a card. We can activate a card that has an ability. We have fate, which means that we are going to draw from the other player's fate deck, and we're probably going to be putting heroes out, or there's effects and items and such.
That is the screw your neighbor aspect of the game that I enjoy.
Yes, very much so. We can move an item or ally. We can move a hero. We can vanquish a hero from our realm, and we can discard cards. Now, on the back side is a little quick reference that shows what all 6 of the villain objectives are. So we always have that available to look at. So talking about our player boards, so I'll just kind of show you Jafar's here. So you can see I've got my objective clearly labeled there. I've got 4 spaces or 4 action things in each one of the locations, and you'll notice that there are kind of outlines on the top and bottoms of these, because I'm going to be playing my cards to the bottom areas here. When Megan does a fate action and places heroes in my realm, they're going to go here, and they're going to cover up those symbols. So that means I no longer have those available to me, because normally if there's no card there, I can do all 4 of those actions. So that is a plus. So just looking at Jafar's, I have the Sultan's Palace, the Streets of Agrabah, I have the Oasis, and the Cave of Wonders.
Which is locked.
It is beginning locked.
And you have to find certain cards in your deck to be able to unlock that.
So Megan, let's take a look at yours real quick here. Megan's is Captain Hook.
It's all Neverland.
And she has Captain Hook's objective. She has the Jolly Roger.
Yes.
She has Skull Rock, the Mermaid Lagoon, which Megan always says, hi, Ariel, because of the redhead. And then we have the Hangman's Tree, which will begin locked as well.
You have to explain that a little bit, I feel
Yeah.
like.
So when Megan was little, when we would be at Disney World, we would ride the Peter Pan ride, and we would go by the Mermaid Lagoon scene. And Megan would always say, "Hi, Ariel," to the redhead.
Yeah.
Because she said that was Ariel, even though she's not really Ariel.
No, it's not, but they made her look like Ariel, obviously.
So I mentioned that we each have our own fate deck. They are these white decks, and that's what our opponents are going to be drawn from. And then we also have our villain deck, and these are all unique to our own villains. And you'll see that it has things that are right out of that movie's lore. So there you can see I got Iago there, I got a scimitar, I got a giant hourglass, and so forth. So Megan will have the same thing. So let's just go ahead and shuffle up, and we're going to start with 4 cards apiece. And I think you're really going to get a good understanding of the flow as we play through it. Okay, so as Jafar, my objective is that I have to unlock the Cave of Wonders. You'll notice there's the padlock on there. You think that would be like a nose ring through that big tiger's head?
I guess. Sure.
That'd look a little weird.
I mean, if that's what you want to do, sure, okay.
So yeah, so I have to unlock the Cave of Wonders. I have to play the magic lamp to the Cave of Wonders, and I have to hypnotize the genie and move the lamp to the Sultan's palace. Megan, as Captain Hook, must have Peter Pan revealed from her fate deck, unlock Hangman's Tree, which is her last location down there, move Peter Pan to the Jolly Roger, and then defeat him. So kind of a lot going on with these 2 characters. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to draw 4 cards off the top of our villain deck, and that will be our hand. And then I always ask Megan the question, Megan, would you like to go first? Which she always says, yes. Megan, would you like to go first?
Yes, but no, I don't.
And why is it you don't want to go first?
Because I gain a power token if I don't go first.
Yeah.
And then subsequently, if you had more players, they would also gain more power tokens. But it's just the 2 of us. So you can go ahead and go, though.
All right, so the first thing you have to do on your turn, unless you have a card like Maleficent, is you have to move your player token. So I'm going to move Jafar over here to the Oasis, and I've got 4 action items I can do. I'm going to do the first one and get 3 power tokens. I can do those in any order I want. I have an activation symbol, which I don't actually have anything to activate, and I can play a card, and I can do that twice. So the first thing I'll do is I'm going to pay 1 power token, and I'm going to play Scrying, which says I can choose either an item or ally, and I'm going to reveal cards from my deck until I reveal a card of that type. I get to put that card into my hand, and then I discard the rest. So I'm going to call Item, and I get an effect, which is what I want later, an ally, an item, which is the giant hourglass. So that's going to go in my hand, and the Scrying goes to my discard pile. And let's see, what else do I have? I will go ahead and I'm going to pay 1 power token, and I'm going to play the giant hourglass. I'll go ahead and just place that at the Oasis. There's no point in activating it because there's no heroes there. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw back up to 4 cards. So I'll just draw 1.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and go over to the Mermaid Lagoon and gain 3 power tokens.
And tell Ariel hi.
Yeah. And then I can play 2 cards, so I'm going to go ahead and play 1 for 1 power, which is Give Them a Scare. Look at the top 2 cards of your fate deck. Either discard both cards or return them to the top in any order. And I'm just going to go ahead and discard both of those. And my other card I would like to play is Pirate Brute. I'll go ahead and play that to the Jolly Roger, and that costs 3 power. And I do not want to move an item or ally, so that will be my turn, and I'll draw back up to my 4 cards.
All right. I will move over to the Streets of Agrabah, and I will take 1 power token. And
Streets of Agrabah is where I always got stuck on Kingdom Hearts. I always get stuck there. So annoying.
And unfortunately, there's not much else I can do. I think I will go ahead and I will fate you, though. So I'm going to get the top 2 cards of Megan's fate deck.
And if Peter Pan is revealed, he has to be played.
Yeah, you got Windy Bird.
Windy Bird.
So I'm going to place the Windy Bird. Windy says all other heroes in Captain Hook's realm get +1 strength. So let's just put the Windy Bird right there. Let's put Windy Bird there.
Okay.
So,
Your turn.
so I've done that. I've done the Fate. I could discard cards if I would like. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to discard these 2 cards. So then I'll draw 2 cards to get back to 4. All right.
Okay. I'm going to go over to the Jolly Roger. Gain a power. I can vanquish, but I don't have any heroes and allies in the same location to do that. I can play a card, which I don't want to do. And I will go ahead and... I will discard those 2 and draw up to 4.
All right. I'm going to go and move Jafar to the Oasis. I'm going to take
3.
3 power tokens. I am going to pay 3 that I just took. Oops. Put those back there. And I'm going to play the Scarab Pendant.
Ooh, you got that pretty early.
Yeah, I got lucky. When Scarab Pendant is played, unlock the Cave of Wonders. So that's unlocked.
Cool.
When you draw cards at the end of each turn, draw 1 extra card. So I'm just going to put that. I'll just put it right there.
Okay.
Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's just an effect. It doesn't matter that much where you put it, just somewhere.
Well, while it's in play.
Yeah, but I mean, like under which
Yeah.
like space, it doesn't really matter.
So it says when you draw cards at the end of each turn, draw 1 extra card. So I'm drawing 1 card to get to my 4, and I'm drawing an extra card. All right, so I've drawn back up, and now it's Megan's turn.
All right, I'm gonna go over to Mermaid Lagoon. I'm gonna take 3 power, but I'm just gonna go ahead and take that, leave it in there, add another one, because I got the Neverland map.
Oh man! So we both got our.
Super lucky. It never happens that early. So when Neverland map is played, unlock Hangman's Tree. And next time I play an item, I can discard the map instead of paying that item's cost.
Now I do want to say, this is the fastest we've ever gotten these things unlocked.
Never gotten them that fast.
So just kind of keep that in mind.
And then I don't have any other powers to play any other cards. I can move an item or an ally. Which I don't. No, I'll go ahead and leave Wendy there. It doesn't really matter because it's move an item or ally, but it's okay. So yeah, draw up. That's my turn.
All right, I will move over to the Cave of Wonders. I'll take 2 power tokens. I can move an item. Don't think I really want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and I can play 1 card. I'm going to pay 2 and I'm going to play Gazim.
Okay.
And I'll play him to the Cave of Wonders there. And Gazim says, when he is discarded from your realm, you may search your discard pile for an item and put it into my hand. Do I want to discard any other cards here? I think I'm going to discard these 2. And so I will draw my normal 2, and because of the Scarab Pendant, I will draw 1 extra.
Okay. And go ahead and move over to Hangman's Tree now that it's unlocked. Gain 2 power tokens. I can go ahead and play a card. So I would like to go ahead and play Smee for 2. And when he's at the Jolly Roger, he gets +2 strength, which is where I'm going to go ahead and put him. And then I would like to Fate you, please. So if I can have 2 cards.
All right.
Thank you. What does your giant hourglass do?
It says heroes, when I activate it, heroes at this location get -2 strength until the end of my turn.
I'm going to go ahead and play Aladdin. And when Aladdin is played, choose an item at his location and attach it to him. So can I have your Scarab Pendant, please, since it's an item?
It is an item.
So Jafar cannot use the item, and when Aladdin is defeated, the item is returned to Jafar at the same location. So you cannot draw up an extra card now.
Interesting.
And then I can move a hero, which I'll go ahead and move Wendy over there. Yeah, do I want to do that? No, because I can play 2 cards. I won't actually move her. And that'll be it. So, go ahead and draw back up.
I will move over to the Oasis. I'll take 3 power tokens. And I will pay 1 and play Scrying, which says choose an item or ally. Reveal the top cards, or reveal the cards from my deck. I will choose item. That is an effect. That is a condition. That is a condition. That is an effect. 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 Item, magic lamp.
Oh, that sucks.
So I can play.
Play another card.
I can play another
You might as well
card.
play your magic lamp.
Well, hang on there, Skippy. Yeah, I will. I'll pay
Say you
4.
need to.
Pay 4. Play my magic lamp. My magic lamp says magic lamp may be played to the cave of can only be played to the Cave of Wonders. When magic lamp is played, find Genie and play him to the Cave of Wonders. So I'll just look for Genie in my Fate deck. Da, 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 da. There's the Genie. Genie gets +2 strength if magic lamp is at his location. So
That makes him 8. Yeah.
Holy crud. Okay, so I've played my 2 cards. Right? I played Scrying and I played Magic Lamp.
You took your power. You can move, or you can activate a card if you want, actually. That's all you can do. If you want to activate your hourglass.
Well, but that's at that
Yeah.
location. So that doesn't really help me.
Okay.
How many allies you got?
I have 2.
You have 2 allies? Okay. Alright, that is my turn.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move over here. Mermaid Lagoon. Gain 3 power. I'll go ahead and play Cannon for 2 power. So that location gains a Vanquish icon. And then for my other one, I'll go ahead and play the Swashbuckler for 1 power. I'll do it like that. And I can move an item or ally.
You have 3.
I have 3
3 allies.
Yes.
I
What
can
would you
play
like to do?
Deception. Is that the right one?
Is it?
Nope. It is Manipulation. It says during their turn, if another player has 3 or more allies in their realm, you may play Manipulation. Take any card from your discard pile and put it into your hand.
Oh, that's nice.
So-
You got a good discard pile now. I went through it all.
Yeah, I'm going to take that card right there.
Alright. And then I can move an item or ally though. Actually, I'm gonna get my 2 money back because I can just discard that to pay that for free. So I won't actually do that. I'm gonna put that in the right discard pile though. So if I want to move an item or ally, I could move. Yeah, I'll go ahead and move my Pirate Brute over as well. And that will be that, so draw back up.
Okay, unfortunately, I cannot gain any money where I'm at, so I'm actually going to go over to here. I can play a card. I'm going to play Necessary Sacrifices. It costs me 0. It says discard an ally or item from your realm and gain 3 power. I'm actually going to discard Gazim.
Because he does an ability when you discard him.
He does an ability that allows me to search my discard pile and put an item into my hand. So I'm going to get 3 money for that. 1, 2, 3. And let's see. I have an item in here that I want. Got a lot of effects. I don't actually think I have any other items. Oh, I do. I have a scimitar. So that goes there. And I can move an item or an ally. So I'm actually going to move this hourglass over to here. And that is the end of my turn. I have 4 cards, so I'm not drawing any extras.
Gotcha. I'm going to go ahead and move over to Skull Rock. And I'm going to use this Vanquish ability here. So Wendy is a cost of 4 because she gains a +1 for being in Hook's realm. And I have 6 allies there. So 6 power there. So I'm going to go ahead and use Pirate Brute against her. And do that. Correct?
Yep.
Okay. And then that opens all that up. So that's good. So I gain 1 power. I would like to fate you, please. So if I might have 2 cards. Thank you. And I will go ahead and play Raja right there. What? What's wrong with Raja? He eats people's underwear.
Raja gets +2 strength if Princess Jasmine is in Jafar's room,
Yeah.
but she is not.
Not yet, at least. I would like to play a card. So I will go ahead and play Boarding Party, which costs 2 power. So Boarding Party may be used... Actually, no, I don't want to play that one. My bad, I played the wrong one. I want to play this one, which only costs 1. My bad. So aye, sir. Move an ally to an adjacent unlocked location. That ally gets +2 strength until the end of my turn, which isn't going to matter, but I want to move him back over here. And I can discard cards. I'll go ahead and discard that one and draw back up to 2 or 4. So draw 2 cards.
Okay.
Here.
I'm going to move over to here. I'll gain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I can play a card. But I'm not going to. So that is my turn.
Okay.
You have all ally and 1 item.
I have 2 allies, 1 item, yes. I like to move back over here to Mermaid Lagoon. Gain 3 power. 1, 2, 3. Give them a scare for 1 power. Look at the top 2 cards of my Fate deck. Either discard or return both in any order. I just want to go ahead and discard both of those, so they're not Peter Pan. I can play another card. So I'll go ahead and play the Cutlass, which is an item. So attach Cutlass to an ally. That ally gets +2 strength. So I'll go ahead and attach it to Swashbuckler. So go right there. And I can move an item or ally, which I'm okay with not doing that, and draw back up to my 4. That will be it for me.
Okay. So I'm going to move down here. And I am going to do the activate. I'm going to activate my giant hourglass, which says heroes at this location get -2 strength until the end of my turn. So that means that the genie is now, instead of 8, he's back to 6.
Yep. So can
I will...
you have any allies to defeat him?
I am going to play Hypnotize, which Hypnotize says I get to defeat a hero and move them to the bottom of my board. That hero is under my control and treated as an ally with the same strength. Ignore their ability. Their cost to play Hypnotize is equal to the hero's strength. So the hero is 6. I have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come here, Genie.
Does that mean you defeat them?
I dream of Genie, yes. So that is my Hypnotize.
Does that mean you defeat them?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it says, because the wording on that, it says defeat a hero.
Okay, cool. So during your turn, during their turn, if another player defeats a hero with a strength of 4 or more, I may play Obsession. Reveal cards from my Fate deck until I reveal a hero. Either play or discard the hero, and then discard the rest. And I don't want to play TikTok, so he's just going to go right there.
Okay. So I could Fate you, but I don't really want to. I can discard.
Well, it's still your turn, and you still defeated a hero of strength of 4 or more. I'm going to go ahead and play my...
Now, does it say after a hero is defeated, or does it...
If another player defeats a hero with a strength of 4 or more, I can play Obsession.
Yep.
So,
as far as I'm concerned, that means it's still good.
Alright. So, hero, either play or discard the hero. Lost Boy, you go play. And
I think that's how we've played it before.
Yeah, I just want to make sure. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Alright.
Yep.
I'm not going to Fate you because you're getting a little thin there.
You could, and
No.
Peter might be under there.
And I'll just draw back up, and that will be my turn.
Okay. I don't really have any cards now. So I will go ahead and go to Hangman's Tree. I'll gain 2 power. Can I fate you, please, for 2?
You can.
See what else I can do. I will go ahead and play Wish, attach Wish to a hero, and that hero gains +2 strength. Go ahead and put it to Aladdin there, so it makes him a 6. I can play a card. I'll go ahead and play Pirate's Brute for 3, and I'll go ahead and put him over here. And I do not want to move a hero because I don't have any heroes, so I'll draw back up.
Okay. I'll move down to the Cave of Wonders. I will take 2 power. I am going to move an item or an ally. I'm going to move the magic lamp over to the Oasis. Yeah, I'm going to pay 1, and I'm going to play a palace card there. And then I can discard cards. I don't think I'm going to discard anything. So I'll just draw up and end my turn.
Okay. So I would like to go Mermaid Lagoon, gain my 3 power. 2, 3. Play Worthy Opponent for free, gain 2 power, and reveal cards from a fate deck until I reveal a hero.
And you got a lot of those.
There's a couple of them. Item, hero. Play the hero. It's just John though. John's not too bad. It's +1 strength for these items down. She doesn't, so it's fine. Put him there. Or actually, let's put him there. Do that. And then I can play another card. So he's only worth 2. I will go ahead and pay 1 power and play the Swashbuckler here. And I don't really want to move an item or an ally, so that will be it.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to move to the Oasis. So I'll take 3, and I can play a card. I will play. I'll pay 0, and I will give the palace card a scimitar.
Okay.
So that is my turn. I'll draw back up.
All right. I'm gonna go over here to Skull Rock. I'm gonna go ahead and use the Vanquish here. So I have a Swashbuckler for 2. John is 2. So just. Oh no. Hook's a little bit top heavy because of his hat. It's that big feather. So I kind of bump it and he falls over easily. So there's that. Go ahead and gain a power. Now that that's opened up, I can play a card. I will go ahead and play Mr. Starkey for 2.
Mr. Starkey?
Mr. Starkey. I wonder if his first name's Tony.
Tony Starkey?
Tony Starkey.
Like Mr. Stank?
It's Tony Stank.
Tony Stank here?
Yes, here is Tony Stank. When Mr. Starkey is played, you may move a hero from Mr. Starkey's location to an adjacent unlocked location. I don't even want to do that. I just want to keep sure I've got all the fighting power over here for when Pan pops up. I can discard cards. Don't really want to do that. And that will be my turn. I'll draw it.
Alright.
Hey, it's your turn now. Ha ha ha. It is your turn. So during their turn, if another player has an ally with a strength of 4 or more, or in their realm, I can play Cunning, and I can play an ally for free from my hand.
Okay. Well,
Ha ha ha.
go ahead. I'm moving here.
Well, I'm doing it before you get into your turn. It's fine.
Yeah. So my play a card ability is I'm going to pay 1, and I'm going to play Iago to where the magic lamp is at. And then I have the activate symbol there, and I can pay 1 to activate Iago's power, which says move Iago and an item at his location, which is the magic lamp, to an adjacent unlocked location. So I'm going to move him over to here, to the streets of Agrabah. I'm not going to fate you.
You could. I would appreciate it if you did. Actually, I
How
welcome it.
many items do you have?
I have 2 items.
During their turn, if another player has 2 or more items in their realm, you may play Deception, reveal and play 1 card from that player's fate deck. I don't think I want to do that.
Yeah, you do.
Not
I think you do.
Not doing that.
I don't know who's under there, but
So I'm not
that
going
would
to do
be
anything.
good.
I'm going to draw up.
Come on.
And that's
You want to fate me.
No.
You want to fate
your turn.
That is the ability you're looking for. I'll go over here in Hangman's Tree. I'll gain 2 power. I would like to fate you. Since you're not fating me, I'll go ahead and keep fating you. Thank you much. And I will go ahead and attach Wish to Aladdin. So same ability, he goes up another 2 to defeat. I don't have a hero to move, and I can play a card. I'll go ahead and play Hangman, or Hook's Case to the Hangman Tree. Put that there so that one gains some money. So then I'll just gain money right back since I'm still there. And that will be that. I'll draw up.
All right. So Jafar will go back to the Cave of Wonders. He'll take 2 power. I will move an item. I will move the magic lamp over to the Sultan's Palace. And let's see. For my play a card, I'm going to spend 2 power, and I'm going to play Sorcerer's Power. Move a hero to any unlocked location. Move an ally to any unlocked location. So I'm going to move Aladdin.
So is he a Sorcerer Supreme now?
An itty bitty little living space or something like that. To any unlocked location.
Talking about like Strange, Doctor Strange.
So you know what? I'm just going to move him here, and
it's not like infinite cosmic power.
I can move an ally to any unlocked location. I'm going to actually move the genie, since he's an ally, over here to the Sultan's Palace with the magic lamp. Now, at the start of my next turn, unless you can disrupt having the genie under my control or the magic lamp being at the Sultan's Palace, I will win.
Well, I don't think Peter's popping up anytime soon, but I'm going to go ahead and move to Skull Rock because at least I can get some fate cards there. Try to do something. But I have Worthy Opponent, which I can play for free, so I can gain 2 power just to see if he's popping up. Reveal cards from your fate deck until you reveal a hero, and that's Michael, which is not Pan. He's probably the last card. Discard a card, which don't really want to. Go ahead and try to fate you, see if I can do anything. And you win.
Yeah, so
I can't do anything.
Start of my turn with the magic lamp at Sultan's Palace and the genie under my control. So
yeah,
it is I, Jafar, the winner.
He wasn't the last card, but he was the next card I would have drawn.
Oh wow.
Jeez.
So I think I will get the genie's lamp trophy.
Ugh, okay.
So now that I am the Sorcerer Supreme and have the trophy, let's get to what we think.
Well, since you won, I'll go ahead and let you start.
All right. So I will say that this game plays extremely different from games that we normally play.
You think that, I don't.
Yeah, I think it's because we don't really have a lot of games where we have different win conditions. Things being so different. I mean, and that's what I like about the game, is because I can pick a different character next time, and my strategy is going to be totally different. My conditions are totally different. So with that, we've got a lot of variability in this game.
We do.
And it's not just the characters that I pick, it's the characters that I'm playing against, the ones you pick. So, I really like that aspect. Gameplay, what do you think?
I like it. I think it's really cool. Like you said, I like that we kind of have different conditions, and there's different ways for us to kind of manipulate the other person's ability to either win or lose. I think that's cool. And I know we've already kind of talked about this in our unboxing. I love the theming, obviously.
Well, duh.
Like, it's Disney. It's cool. And, I wasn't sure how I'd feel about playing the bad guys, but it's kind of cool. So, kind of play it, I guess, from, their perspective. Because you are still kind of following the basic storyline of the movie, except you're kind of doing it from the villain's point of view, obviously, since it's Villainous. But super cool. I like it. I like that all the art's pretty much taken from the movies. It's a little tweaked, just a little bit, on, some of the art style, but it's still, straight from the films. And I think it's really cool. I love it.
Yeah, since you jumped ahead to the art is really cool as well. And just one other thing I want to talk about with the gameplay, having the heroes come and cover up these action spots, I think is really kind of neat too,
Yeah.
because it does give you a reason to fate someone and to try to get heroes out there. Plus, it's going to, when they're trying to vanquish them, it's going to deplete their allies. Unfortunately, with you playing as Captain Hook, I did not want Peter Pan to come out.
No, and that's like the only thing too. I wanted him to come out, and he was so far in the deck. And I know we said too, this was like one of the first times we've played that we've both been able to unlock our locations super early, because normally we're going through our player deck to try to find those cards.
And
they popped up like second round.
And that is the one thing about the gameplay that I have seen people complain about, is because that is kind of luck based. You don't know where the cards you need, where they're going to be at in your decks. But like you said, this was the fastest we got our unlocks. The fastest I've been able to get the magic lamp, because I know we played the other day. I think you were playing as Jafar, and it took you forever, didn't it?
I
to
couldn't
get the magic
even.
lamp.
I couldn't even get to the magic lamp. I was just trying to unlock the cave. But like I know every time either one of us have played Hook, we've gotten Hook one super quickly because Pans came up and we've been able to move him right along. But I think that's kind of where the balance of this game comes in. I know I've said that when we've played as all the characters, just kind of seeing which ones, especially in a two-player, you might want to match up against each other. Like this one, we're both starting with a locked location. We're trying to get certain cards to come up from our deck. So the start of the game, kind of to get to your win condition, similar with like your objective. So you're still trying to draw those cards up. Whereas like some of them have nothing to do with that. You don't have a locked location. You're not trying to draw up for certain cards. So I think it's kind of just learning which characters you might want to pit up against each other.
Yeah, and this game plays up to 6, so all 6 characters can be in play at the same time. Only 3 of them have locked locations.
Yes.
So this, and we've not played it with more than 2.
No.
I know that people have said that it plays completely different. A lot of people don't like the 2-player experience. I actually do, because we kind of like that, take that aspect, and here we're just, giving it to the other player.
Yeah.
Instead of having to worry about anybody else. But you can have in multi-player games, you can have people kind of gang up on somebody else. There is a way to mitigate that so they don't constantly get ganged up on, boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that little flash symbol or flash token comes into play.
No, it's Hercules' medallion.
Well, yeah.
That's what it is.
So let's talk about the other characters, because this is part of the big replayability of this. And we've played through each of these characters multiple times.
Yes.
So we have Ursula. You can see that she is actually, she's got pretty good art on there.
I mean, all the art's really good. I'm not going to knock the art at all.
We have, and Ursula also, she is one that has a lock condition.
Yeah.
I actually played as her last night, and she's kind of similar to Jafar, because she's got to get King Triton and the trident and the crown all back at at her lair.
Yeah, she has a kind of a similar condition.
And then we have Prince John.
Yeah.
Prince John, his ability or his win condition is he just has to begin his turn with 20 gold.
That's like the easiest condition.
It is, except for the fact that in order for him to play cards, he's got to spend that gold. So,
but you can always bounce back and forth to get those 3 power, and that's what you kept doing the other night, and that's how you won. And I'm just like, that's too easy.
Yeah. So
it's a lot difficult.
So Prince John, say up against either one of these 2, he might have an easier time.
Yeah.
Playing there. Then we have the Queen of Hearts,
which hers is a little bit difficult because you have to get the cards out, you have to turn them so they become like the wickets for her to play croquet, then you have to win, you have to get a certain number, have your cards drawn to have a certain value. Hers is a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
And we had her against Prince John, and Prince John obviously won. No time flat.
And then we have Maleficent, who I actually liked playing.
She's really good. I like her.
She's got to get curses to all of the locations,
which isn't too hard.
No, but
it's a little challenging.
But the way the curses get rid of or are gotten rid of is if heroes are deployed to those locations, or if Maleficent has to move to one of those. So it can be a little difficult.
But as we mentioned with Maleficent, she has a super cool card that lets you stay at that location, so you don't have to actually move to another one, which kind of helps her. Well, just a little bit.
So since we just talked about the other villains, I'm going to show quickly the different boards that we have here. So you can see here is Ursula. You can see there's her lair, Eric's ship, the shore, and the palace. And like I said, the artwork on this is just really cool. Really like that. Now, next we have Prince John. Oh, and also each one has like their little saying. The crown gives me a feeling of power. So we'll look at his, and whoop, there we go. So we've got Sherwood Forest, Friar Tuck's Church, Nottingham, and the jail. And then we have the Queen of Hearts. Queen of Hearts says, if I lose my temper, you lose your head.
Lovely.
Yeah, so you can see she has the courtyard, the hedge maze, Tulgey Wood, and White Rabbit's house.
And Alice just has to go and destroy, you know? So
And then
considerate.
we have Maleficent. Now go with a curse and serve me well. I guess what she says to the raven.
Yeah, you just want to make sure you invite her to your birthday party, otherwise you're fine.
Yeah, this is really cool. I mean, I just think the artwork for Maleficent is really neat
She's
too.
like the coolest like villain. Like it's her movie, let's be real. Sleeping Beauty is like barely in the movie, like
Yeah.
at all. It's like her and Prince Philip. That's the whole movie.
But we have Forbidden Mountains, Briar Rose's Cottage, The Forest, and King Stephen's Castle. And one of the things you probably have noticed is that the locations are very similar. I think almost all of the third locations offer 3 power
I don't
tokens.
think Queen of Hearts does, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
When I was looking through, there's a couple that don't. But yeah, 4 out of the 6, I think, have 3 power in that location.
But they also offer ability to play 2 cards and
Yeah.
to discard.
They're pretty much like all of those are the same.
All right. So now let's get to what we both think is the actual coolest part of the game. And that is the player tokens or the character tokens.
Like I said, we've shown these off in our unboxing where we just like got the game and we're gushing over all these components. But these player pieces are like the coolest part of the game. So we have Captain Hook, which you said he's a little bit top heavy, mainly because he's a little hollow. So like you can like stick your finger there because it's like open to show off his coat. But his feather's really cool. I just think that's so cool.
Is that crimson color?
Yeah. And then you had Jafar, which is a little bit like a staff and like his little sultan hat and all that. Or the vizier. He's a vizier, not a sultan.
Yeah.
Yeah, still cool.
Then
It's awesome.
we have Ursula. So you can see she's kind of got her tentacles.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Tentacle.
I knew you were going to say that. And
She's got her hair.
it's kind of like her dress there. We have Maleficent, so
cool.
nice and green. I mean, that's a very vibrant green.
Mm-hmm.
Really like that. And you can see her horns there, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Next, we have the Queen of Hearts. So you
Just
can
her
see,
dress.
looks like a heart.
There's actually like a lot of detail like etched into on her dress, which I think is really cool. It's not really showing up on camera, but it's cool when you get the piece and look at it.
Yeah, and then finally we have the one that's the least neat, and that is Prince John. Looks like his crown on top of a jewel, which, I mean, it's kind of
It's
neat, but
fitting
it's...
for the character, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't...
It's Prince John.
Well,
It's Robin Hood.
so not really sure, what they would do with that.
But it works. It's cool.
So that's really cool. The cards themselves, I mean, the they don't feel like they've got that linen finish to them, which is kind of a shame, but the artwork on the cards is really cool. And you'll notice, like here on Prince John's, his fate cards are the same, has the same art, except the card is all white. So that's a way to kind of tell them apart there.
Yeah, but like they all have little elements of like their character and their storyline in it, which I think is super cool. It just kind of adds that extra touch to the theming.
Yeah, and then the insert is actually pretty cool. You've got, spot for your cauldron, spot for all of the player token or player movers, I think is what they call them.
Yeah.
And then wells for each of the cards. So the only other negative that I have about the game
this is one too.
is the components, because
Well, these components.
Yeah, these components. These power tokens, they're blah.
They're just very basic cardboard black. I
And
mean, they work.
I know
but-
you we've looked, and there are you can go to the dollar store and you can get these glass beads for $1. They're green, they've got blue, white, different colors. The green ones are really kind of cool. We thought about replacing these. We just hadn't done it yet. But these, I mean, there's just nothing special, nothing that really says these are power.
And I mean, your cauldron almost reminds me a bit of like Chernobog with like his mountain that he kind of rests on, more than like a cauldron, because I think like your witch's cauldron. It's just plastic.
And and that's fine, but it's very thin.
Flimsy
It would have been nicer if that was thicker, but that's okay.
That's very small aspect of the game that we don't like. And just component wise, it's everything else is super cool.
The boards are nice and thick. I don't have any complaints there. Yeah, like I said, the power token's really the only complaint that I have.
You can read all the font, which is cool, because I don't like it when games you can't read some of the font on cards.
Yeah, I will say, I mean,
It's
just
really
looking
easy
at
to read.
Aladdin's card here, yeah, that is like super easy to read. And I can read that very well, even with, well, let's see. No, do need my glasses. But it looks, it's very readable. It's very distinguishable as far as what they are. The heroes they're in yellow, items are in blue, allies are in red, and that's consistent across all of the cards. So that's really cool. So we really like Villainous.
Yes.
Because we like the gameplay and we like Disney.
Obviously.
And being the villains, like you said, is something new. I'm looking forward to more villains because next up we have the expansion, Rotten to the Core, or is it Evil to the Core? Wicked to the Core, that we are going to be playing next. And there's one character in particular in here that I'm really.
I think we're going to be
to.
fighting over them.
So just a kind of a quick peek of that. If you haven't watched our unboxing already, the character I'm talking about is Hades.
He's like the coolest villain, though. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Then Hercules is such a good movie on its own.
Then we also have Dr. Facilier, which I don't know anything about because I've not watched Princess and Frog. And then we have the Evil Queen, which she's actually kind of cool looking.
Yeah, I mean, it's super cool, but Hades.
Yeah.
Hades is like the man.
Yeah, and because that, the hero is going to be Hercules.
Yeah.
Or do I mean Huncules?
We got Meg. What sounds like about Meg? Like, Meg's awesome.
Yeah.
She's a damsel and she's in distress, but she can take care of herself.
That is true. So you can say this is a standalone game, or you can mix with other villains.
Which I think we're definitely going to start doing, because, I mean...
But we're going to play this alone first, and then we might
we'll
start mixing those. So you're going to definitely want to keep an eye on it, because our plan is to have that one out next week.
Yep.
So if you like this one, then hopefully you'll like that one. So final thoughts, Megan.
I'm already trying to speculate which next villains they'll have in. And we've been talking about that too, because we're like, oh, which ones will they get? Because obviously Corilla should be in it, because she's already hinted at the back of the rulebook. I think Yzma would be awesome, because who doesn't like Yzma?
Well, you know who I want to see?
Kronk.
Well, I want to see Kronk, but what villain do I want to see? I want to see Gaston. Because
yeah, you could.
Because, no one spits like Gaston.
Ugh. Yeah, you could do Scar. You could do... I'm trying to think of, all the others. There's so many other ones. You could even get, Pixar in. You could get Syndrome. You could do All Incredibles.
Oh, man.
Or he's you would love that.
Dun,
come
dun,
on.
dun.
That'd be so cool. But, obviously we're sticking with the basics, classic Disney ones. But
and
you can just start advancing. I mean, Mother Gothel from Tangled. You get a whole Tangled set.
Yeah, that's true.
love Tangled.
There's a lot of ways they can go with this. And I think as long as the game is popular, they're going to keep cranking out.
I think it is.
The expansions that will add more villains and heroes.
I mean, it's available at Target. If it's normally at Target, it's a pretty good game.
Yeah.
And it goes pretty quickly, so.
It does.
It's a
So,
good game.
that is Villainous. Like I said, we recommend it.
Yep.
And we will catch you guys next time.
Bye.
If you would like to support us, you can visit patreon.com/dadvdaughter.
Like and follow us on Facebook to stay current on our show schedule, sneak peeks at future shows, and to interact with us.